Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the Best Couple podcast. You're here with me, Sureet and Stevie K. I seriously don't like the intro. You need to do the intro. I think you need to do the intro next time.
Hey guys, it's us.
It's us, we're back.
Is that
and right? Today we're going to be discussing how our week's been, because I feel like we've had a really interesting week.
Have we?
Yeah, we finally had a babysitter. And we've had a week to ourselves.
I thought you were going to say we finally had sex. Oh, but no.
And
okay,
that,
sorry.
And that. But it's just so much to discuss because finally we had the week to ourselves.
Our lovely, dearest daughter, Casey. Thank you very much,
Thank
Casey.
you, baby.
If you're watching, she had her brother come over and stay. And so we... After how many years? Quite a long time, to be honest. So we did get all our work out of the way over the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, we still had loads of issues around the house that,
guys, we still haven't got ourselves a nice couch sofa yet.
We did go to look.
Yeah, we've been couch shopping, sofa shopping. The fleas have finally gone.
So if anyone listens to our other podcasts, yay, we did it.
Oh,
after chucking away our sofa and not having our daughter's cat ever again.
It's been a nightmare. Like honestly, 3 weeks. It feels like it's been more than 3 weeks. 3 weeks are non-stop, just getting down on our knees and
chucking away furniture,
scrubbing away, chucking away things that we just didn't need to be doing.
Yeah,
because we had so much to do when we got back off holiday. But yes, we're still. Looking for a couch. So if there's anyone out there who've got a company, want to want to send us a free couch, then please do so. Get in touch with me. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, all major platforms. I'm after something that's nice and cozy, not leather.
Okay, we're not doing a advertisement or what was.
Might as well check it out. I'm joking, but if there is anyone,
Anyway,
holla.
Yeah, so it's been, we thought, obviously, he was going away, which was going to be nice for him, spend some time with his sister. So we thought, get the work done as much as we can. So we've got time to ourselves.
Yeah.
But in between, obviously, still having to do things around
work.
Mm-hmm. We've done our work. We done things around the house. To be honest, the house has been fresh and clean for quite some time now.
It was fresh and clean before we left, before the infestation.
No, but we got to a point where it's been very good.
It's
very
been
good.
Lovely.
We've been on top of things.
So that, and also I got Steve watching a TV series with me. Is it a series program, whatever you call it?
It's a TV.
So he's been watching Love Is Blind with me. And he's before he goes any further, he's actually really enjoying it.
No idea. It's a bit like Marmite. It's like you either love it or you hate it. But I hate it to no.
So when I watched it, I watched the first couple of episodes on Netflix, and I was doing things in between. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Wow, this is what? Oh my god, they make such an amazing couple. Wow, and he was coming back and forth in the room the first time I watched it.
I walked out.
And I was like, you need to watch this. And he goes, no, I don't watch that kind of shit.
I don't watch
I haven't got time for that.
TV,
Seriously, no. And I was like, no, honestly, it's really because it's bullshit. It was doing all of this and giving me the whole hoo-ha, TV programs. I don't even... Yeah. But the kid had gone away. And I thought, you know what? In the evening, let's see if I can persuade him to watch it. So I rewatched it with him. And
she didn't persuade me. She forced me. She was horrible. Well, I always have to watch your shit.
So true.
And this, and the other. Sit there and the movies you want to watch. I'm like, that's for my work. And
not always for the work.
Oh, sorry.
It's not.
And then it was basically, you never get to watch what I want to watch. Everything you pick is crap. And then we got into a big hoo-ha about it. See, we are open and honest. And then it was like, okay, just put one on. I'll sit here. And no, you're going to talk through it. And
No.
So
okay,
I did talk through it.
So yes, it's true. I have to watch everything he wants to watch, and I'm okay with that because I do like movies, and obviously even if I shit on there, I could have been doing something else, but I'm sitting here watching them with you. Fine. So do something that I like. Finally, I've watched it, and the thing is, it was just on the
cinema as well.
It was on in the background. It was just on in the background, and obviously I was doing something. I just needed something on in the background, and then at times it was getting interesting. And obviously I thought, this would be good. I would like to know his opinion. And I was getting obviously there was a lot in my thoughts on the actual whole thing. I thought we could discuss and talk about. But it was so much more interesting watching it with this dude. And because I haven't watched the new series or the new episodes, I only watched up to... The thing is, I thought I watched all of the first one, but I didn't. I only watched like 4. I think it was 3. Was it 3 you were saying? Because there's a lot of the ones that I watched with you for the first time. So sitting with this guy, I had to shut him up because he could not stop yap. And he does not like people who talk through movies, through anything he's watching. He was frustrated. Oh my God. I felt like, if you had the camera on and people were to watch you and watch your reaction. Obviously, there's times that I was like, oh my God, this is much, man. There's so many thoughts. But you was something else. I was like, it's shush. I have to pause. Like, I want to know what's been said here, especially last night. So we ended it last night. Last night was the last one we watched. And
see, when normal people, right, they finally get babysitters, let's spend quality time together, or they have like a dirty weekend and stuff like that. We watch TV.
We made time to do. We can't have a dirty weekend all week long. Like, that was just like chill time. Finally, unwinding, not watching the same crap that you watch over and over and over. And that feels like it's weird because you will watch Modern Family, Friends. What's the third one? You've been also watching Big Bang Theory, and I felt like within the week I've rewatched it, like the whole episode again within the week. Like the following week, there's
back on.
Same one's on, yeah, and that.
Sure, you sat and watched football all day long with me yesterday, didn't you?
I did. So
all
we
day.
had like a cozy
all
day yesterday, and we just like did nothing. We lounged around in our nightgowns,
watching football all day,
eating crap, watching football, and me doing other things at the same time. But that was nice. Not doing any. Didn't have the energy. That's why anymore. Like with everything we've been up to and doing. But that was really nice. But honestly, we watched the last part last night, like the last couple of. And it's not like we'll only watch now. You was invested. You didn't want to go to bed.
Has anyone watched it?
He didn't want to go to bed.
No.
I was like, yay, finally.
I got to sleep at 10 o'clock. I stayed up till 12.
And we don't watch any kind of TV series and stuff. We don't, do we?
No.
It was just that day I was doing on my laptop and I was like, well, let's just stick something that I don't have to concentrate on. Then I got like... I was
going to say, the only kind of things that we do watch, it's normally TV series, but it's like... something to do with our work, because our audience and everyone also, it's not that we don't enjoy it, but it's more or less like dramas and things like that, isn't it? Those kind of things, like Mirzapours or...
Do you know what, like it would be really good though if we were to watch something that people recommend us to, and just because they want our opinion on it, because this is so much we were getting, like, thinking about our culture and how things are, and the things that you were coming out with. I was like, oh my God, stop right there. Just keep your thoughts to yourself. We could discuss this, because it was crazy. It's like, so me, I was thinking of when I first put it on, I was like, okay, this is like in our days a Cilla Black, but a lot more intense and everything. Like, remember Cilla Black?
That's fun.
That was so much fun. Yeah.
But that wasn't to get married.
It's not like this exactly.
Like
but that was the only thing that we could compare it to. If I could look back at what could compare it to, is like you're seeing talking to someone, and behind a wall, wherever it is.
Her soul. She was fun.
She was, wasn't she?
From Liverpool as well.
Was she? I don't remember that much. I was too small to remember. Like,
sure.
I remember her accent.
She didn't have a TV.
I do remember her accent, but I wouldn't have known then that she was from Liverpool. It's one of those accents, voices that you would always remember. Lovely lady, and her smile.
Okay, we're getting off the subject.
You got me thinking now.
Now, any of you guys watched Blind Date?
Back in the days.
Those programs were good, weren't they?
The Easy Life.
The Easy Life, hey. When there wasn't much choice to watch, but whatever you watch, you enjoyed.
Four channels. Is that a Sunday? Was it Sunday evening?
No,
Saturday weekend?
No, I can't remember. It doesn't make no difference.
But yes, so like first of all, I was thinking of that, and then watching it with him was just super fun, because Steve was just like, "This is like Indian Resta, like what's like arranged marriage."
All this time, that's what I said. I say all this time, people keep on having judgmental views about arranged marriage and stuff. Certainly from like the Western side of the world. And then you got these TV shows, which is basically arranged marriage.
Yeah. The two hosts.
Yeah.
They're the Bajulla.
Yeah, and both were married. And if you guys are watching Love is Blind, what the heck are the hosts there for? They don't F all.
It's true. He was moaning about that. I was like, just imagine us being a host on something like that.
Yeah, but
we'd be well fun.
what, they're getting paid. They went to Corfu. They've gone there.
I
they're
don't
going,
care.
These are the boys. These are the
the
girls.
girls. We can
and
do
then
that.
they've just come somewhere in between, and they just went, oh, so how are you guys finding it? Now we're going to do this. So you went all the way to Corfu just to say that?
Dude, if you were told to do that, you'd jump to the chance.
Also,
I
jump
would.
to it.
Get paid for it. You're going on holiday.
I don't understand why they had hosts, but there was no need of any hosts.
True.
That was the first thing. There was no need of a host.
Yeah, they didn't really make much appearances.
And it wasn't at the end that they were interviewing them and they were talking to them.
Or they were there at the wedding either.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
how
God,
do you not feel? How do you feel right now?
No.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, I've never watched it before, so I don't know how it works. This is the first time I actually have put it on for the first time ever. So I think this is like the 6th season in or something. I don't know.
I think this is the first season in the UK.
Is it?
I think there are other seasons in another country. Right. I think the US, quite possibly.
I don't know nothing
I think
about
the first one. But I'm just mean, firstly, I have no idea why they had hosts. I understand if the hosts were going to be at the end, going, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, that's
how
what I mean. So I don't
about
know if
that?
there was anything.
Sit there, this, that, and the other. Unless those were the ones that they were talking to, but they don't show you as that. They seem like a bit of a big brother talking to the TV.
And I didn't understand because there was a lot of them, and they didn't show all of them at all. Like when they were going in and out the pods.
I think it's only the relationships that worked. They ended up working out. If any of you watched it, do let us know. Share. But I just found it's crazy, isn't it? Like the people now, well, majority of them were in their 30s and now looking for marriage, and they want a TV show which they call The Experiment. Yeah. To find them, see if they can find a match, and basically boys all are staying in one side, boys' quarters, and you got the girls' quarters. But I think for 2 weeks every day, so just give a gist to people like you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Every day, so there's pods, so many pods. I think 10 pods.
Yeah.
So you got the 10 boys are going to the pods on this side separately, and the girls are going to a pod on that side separately. And there's a sort of a
wall.
Sort of blind kind of thing, in between kind of thing, so you can hear each other, but they're both comfortable and they get to talk, and then it's like a bit like speed dating, isn't it? I'm guessing. Yeah. And then they come out. Not that I've done speed dating. We've married ages ago.
Ages ago,
25 years ago. So unless I was speed dating when I was about 12, but basically they then leave and they go into another room, and then they talk to the next person. So they keeping notes and seeing who they.
I'd be confused, first of all of them still. Like, it'd take me a long while to remember, hold on, this is the... Because there's 10, remember. And remember, I need to... Okay, I got on with more. Clearly, you're going to need to take notes and
that's
stuff.
What they're doing. They all had
but it'd be so confusing. That's 10 people. Like, still, like going back to... If you're going back to...
Hot Girl 1, Hot Girl 2, Hot Girl 3, Hot Girl 4.
That's
it. I can't remember her name.
Your black notebook where you have to put your phone numbers and stuff.
You know it. Anyway, so basically they all had to do that, so they don't get to see the person. It's more or less, obviously called Love is Blind. Fall in love with a person, and you can't give a description of how you look.
Yeah.
Where I think you can say where you're from. No, they couldn't say if they were tall, short, what colour their skin was, things like that. I don't think they could say anything like that. Yeah. They could say they were like from Birmingham or whatever.
Oh my God, that itself is so like...
But so... more or less you can't describe yourselves. There's things that you can say, things that you can't, but it's seeing if there's a relationship that you can build with the person on the other side without looking at them, so it's not physical appearances. And that's what it was about.
So when I first watched it myself, and like I said, I think I only watched the 3, I was like proper like working. I was getting invested. I was like, okay, I need to watch this, and then obviously still carried on my work. But when you were hovering in and out, I wanted you to see, because that was the part where I was like, oh my God, like shit, like they've really picked the right people. Like, especially that was at the beginning when
to be honest, none of them were.
Name? I know,
they
but
were
like
really well-looking people.
Yeah, they're all very good-looking people, weren't they? Like they've picked them. Like they've clearly, like, in my head, it was like the people who have actually chosen them, and they've like understood them, got to know, their likes and dislikes, and obviously, they knew who they're going to narrow it down to, because the two couple that I was like, oh my God, like he was talking about his nana and they had the same, and obviously they meant a lot to them, and she was crying her eyes. I was like, this is mad.
That just worked. That wasn't like, oh, he could be with her and he could be, I don't think it was that.
Yeah. No, but there was other things like that. Even the one, the couple that we really, really liked and did get married, the one from the Brummy.
Yeah, Brummy.
Oh my God.
I mean, it made me start thinking, is that how we sound?
Do we sound like that? Because that is,
when I was picking it, his accent was so strong compared to anyone else, and I went, is that how we sound?
Right, please hold.
Like when you hear the English accent in American movies, and you can then hear it more. Yeah. But otherwise, when you're watching it, you can't, or you hear the American accent. But when the English accent is with the American accent, you're like, is that how we sound?
Yeah.
It's very strong.
We don't watch British movies anyway, and even when we watch British...
no, but then it's still in British movies.
But when you combine it with...
But you combine it with another accent, it's... Because even now people who listen to us around the world are like going, your lot's accent, where's it from?
Honestly, like when we heard him, we were like, oh, please stop talking, please. He's such a lovely guy, but like, oh, do we actually speak like that?
He was such a nice guy, wasn't he?
Do we actually speak like that? Because when you hear a Liverpoolian, he was so lovely. That couple, like even when they sat together, I just thought, wow, they've the people have actually organised this and thought about who, they probably already knew, had a rough idea.
Okay. Can I just say, I would love to have known what kind of views. I think majority of, like, say, a British audience.
Yeah.
Back in the, not even back in the nowadays, could be. If the show was actually created in India, what they would have thought of it. Like, as in, if the show was all Indian men, 10 Indian women, can't see each other, they could talk to each other, and they got to get married. What would have been the viewpoint then if it wasn't then they would have turned around and go, would it have been more judgmental? Because it's like, oh, here it is, another arranged marriage thing without seeing it, and
telling someone you love them, like you haven't even seen each other.
You haven't seen them. Yeah, it would have been taken. I
agree, definitely.
People do that. So you haven't even got because that's what the judgment all was about.
Right.
So I got not maybe our grandparents did, but I mean that generation was you didn't even get to choose the bride or the groom. It was like my friend or a friend, or I know someone, he's got a son, and you get married to him. I'm sure that's what happened with my father and my mother, and they didn't have a choice. They didn't get to see him, and people would turn around and go, so you didn't even get to see your bride or your groom, and you were just told you got to marry him. Yeah.
But they'll turn around and say, well, at least I had conversations.
But they'll say, we had a conversation when we met each other, we spoke to each other, and, and many people probably didn't, but they spoke, and, fine. These people have a conversation, but they don't even get to see them.
I know.
So what's the difference? It is arranged marriage. You're not getting to see the person. You're getting to speak to them. We're going back in the days back in the days, the thing that they criticised and judged of what majority of Indian people did. Oh my God, arranged marriage, you didn't even get a choice. You got to didn't get to see the person, and you just got to talk to them, and your parents found you them, and then you just married them. But now it's like a TV show has found you them.
Yeah.
And now you don't get to see them.
It's everything.
But now you want to,
There's that.
marry this person that you're just talking to, and they seem nice.
There's that. We used to get criticised for our colour and stuff, and people want to go and tan themselves. I find that really odd. Like when they go and tan themselves and they want to look brown, orange, whatever. I feel like there's a lot of things. Even our food and stuff was a big thing at one point. Oh, curry munchers. But now it is the food. Everyone wants to eat Asian food. It's like even, making... If you watch now on TikTok, Instagram, when you're making an English dinner or you're making an English healthy food, everything's turmeric, it's paprika, it's all the stuff, spices and stuff that which they would never have they would have criticised us being that at school. For a fact we would have been like, you curry munchers, like this. That's what we used to. I used to be called
like that. Curry. You all got called that. I didn't never got called that.
The things, I went to a Catholic school.
Okay.
So you went to a school where there was a lot of Asians?
No, we were mixed.
With ours?
And they were really nice. I never experienced, and considering where I grew up, even now I look back and I didn't experience racism, to be honest.
I fully
the white, black, Indian, Muslim, we were all
think in our
good.
school, in our year, forget the whole of the school, if you think about the whole school in itself, I would say there was probably like 10%.
Or even if I didn't like feel like I personally experienced
10%.
it. So I wasn't aware of it.
I wouldn't even say 10% because in our year itself, that's 10% within the whole school, I think. But in our class, in my year, there was only 4 of us Indian girls.
Okay.
4. That's it. And we would be the ones who would be doing PE, and we'd be the ones that were picked last. We would be standing there, we're waiting when there's groups.
Talk about that. The only time I did experience racism, was in the police force.
Yeah, you did.
In West Midlands Police, I experienced a lot of racism.
Yeah.
And that's from the police.
Yeah, so it's going off track, but we're talking about that. But there, you think about obviously the arranged marriage you're talking about, but then there is that people want to tan to the extent that they want to be brown. The food now, like I was on TikTok, I was like, I want to find something healthy. We need to start eating healthy.
Yeah, no,
everything
but
is.
Still, people are, because again, the reason I mentioned about me being that and experienced that, because it came into my head. You talk about how it made me feel. There was comments. I don't watch the news hardly at all. When I go to the gym, it's sometimes on the TV kind of thing, and it said like the Met Police saying that black and Asians are experiencing the most racism in the police force. And they said comments like, "Oh God, I can smell onions on you," and this and I'm like, in this day and age, you know what I mean?
It's true though, because even you would be wary of when you used to go to work. If I was making the torka, I was making anything Asian, he would say, "Can you make it as I'm leaving?" Yeah. After I've left, after I've left, not as I'm leaving, because you would be like worried about, but you wouldn't care any other time.
Yeah. Not everyone, to be honest. So put that straight. Not everyone's like that. But I'm just saying, experienced it.
So, going back to the subject of love is blind.
Yeah.
Is love blind, Steve?
Yeah. I would say it is, but I just think that whole show was a bit too much and a bit ridiculous.
Oh.
I mean, I know people can fall in love instantly, but I do think, again, you can have a great conversation with someone. You could be emailing someone or you on the phone and you feel that wow. But at the end of the day, you would say this more than me, to be honest, because I still feel like, I'm not saying everyone has got attraction to someone. So this is what I mean. Like, everyone has different tastes, and everyone would be loved by someone. That's what I'm trying to say. Everyone would find someone attractive, even if someone else didn't. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I still feel that people still, individually, need to see that person in person to see, am I attracted to them?
100%, because
that's what I feel. Yeah. And I'm not saying, oh my God, they all have to be, a person I only be attracted to a certain whatever. Everyone got a different taste. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to find the right words to say without being
It's true though, isn't it? Like, you could be
I mean, you could be tall, you could be small, you could be big, you could be skinny, you could be in shape, and or not in shape. Same with the age, same with the colour. But there's always like something someone would find that's physically attractive in that person, and feel like, what, I see myself with this person, and I would be happy with them. But you're listening to this person's voice for all this time, and you're falling for their voice or what they're saying. But still, when you see them,
I mean, that's the only thing they were worried about, wasn't it? Like, oh my God, I hope I find them. I would be the same. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if it was someone I would not be attracted, wouldn't even want to hold, or like I'd feel uncomfortable, I'd turn the other way.
And I actually said that to her. I said, so
would you? Okay,
I said, so obviously you found me attractive then, because I thought you wouldn't be with me then. And she was like, no. Yeah.
Gorgeous when you want to be.
When you want to be.
Yeah. But same question to yourself. Like, if that was the case, you found someone and you really got on with them and you hadn't seen them, and now you're stood at the door, and she was completely...
I think two things matter. Both things matter. Because I tell you, someone...
I was like,
and
please
this is
don't lie.
to do with this show, this exact show, there was girls in there that were quite, very attractive, I would say. And at the same time, their personality stinked.
Yeah. Yes.
And you turn around and go, yeah, she looks beautiful, but I tell you, she'd do my nutting.
She's like a 15-year-old brain of her, like the way she was.
I'm not going to mention.
Why not? Of course we can.
It's a TV show anyway. Anyway, there's a girl called Kat, and she was with this guy Freddie. He seemed like such a lovely guy.
I laughed so hard. This man was making me laugh when he was getting irritated by her.
I know. he cheated, like not on her, way
That's
back.
like a
But
decade ago.
he was honest. He said like ages ago I had a relationship, but I did cheat on, and he didn't have to be, but he was, and
It
I
was
thought,
so lovely.
and so I get where you could turn around and go, God, I'm going to worry that he's going to do it again. The whole thing that they were saying, it's a cheater, always a cheater kind of thing. But at the same time, I went, you know what? He didn't have to say that. He could have kept it to himself.
Yep.
He didn't have to be open and honest. And he barely knows her.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, even if she didn't know, unless someone close to him told, she wouldn't have a clue.
No.
But he openly felt like he needed to.
I think she's using that excuse of
Right.
her. Okay, she was adopted as a child and stuff. Understand, but you can't keep carrying on using that with everything that.
But the thing is, she's been on so many dates with so many different people, and she was saying how they all are. Now this girl's nearly 30 or is 30 kind of thing. I think she was 29. And you think, you're all on this show because you all want to get married. Clearly, every single person you're meeting, everyone is judgmental with whoever they're meeting, or things ain't working out for a reason. It's true, because if it worked out, you would be with someone.
Yeah.
And things ain't always going to work out. Majority of the times, when you heard each of them individually, their parents were talking, coming onto the show, and they were just going, the advice that they were giving was, you've got to make it work.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's advice was. It's like there's things that you lot are going to have similar. There's things that you're going to disagree on. We've got our differences. But it's how you work together on the situations of, okay, I'm me, you, we're on the same journey. How can we enjoy this together and make things work when things aren't, or understand when we don't, kind of thing. And majority of the people is seen, like on the show, who are now between 29 to 38 or 29 to 40, it seems like they've been in so many relationships, and each relationship they're going through, they realising that things ain't perfect. Either it's just because it's sexual, but they don't connect, or they connect, but they don't look a certain way, or they look a certain way, but they're not making a certain amount of money, or they're not looking, they haven't got certain values or beliefs. Like there was one girl who has been brought up, again, nothing wrong with that, been brought up that the man looks after the woman no matter what.
Yeah.
And she said, that's what I expect my man to do. And she went out with him, and she was paying for the ice cream, and then she had a conversation with him and saying,
this wouldn't happen.
This wouldn't happen. If I was with someone from my culture, my
embarrassing
background,
for her. And you understand
it would be embarrassing. The man does it, and he wasn't like, what?
That's a big thing for him too, if he's been brought up in a way,
And he was brought up like, it doesn't matter kind of thing. But you see, so there's so many things that people bring from whatever their relationships are, from, their families, cultures, backgrounds. And it's either you work and you just go, yeah, okay, I understand that. But remember, you're not being brought up together with the same parents, unless, some I was going to say something, but you know what I mean. You ain't been brought up, even if you're on the same street, brought up in the same area, you can have different views and values, even if you're the same colour kind of thing. But everyone's got basic differences. And when these people work together, it's like that cat. I mean, she had two friends who came, and I said to her, I went, they look about 15, 16.
Honestly,
if you guys have a look.
Honestly, you're like, no wonder she
apparently loves to go out, and she loves to party.
Like
she just stays out, and he's more like, I'm a stay-at-home guy.
Yeah. They do. If compared to her, they look like they were 15-year-old kids. If they didn't have that makeup on, they look like they were 12.
Is that why she's always out? She seems like she's probably clubbing till 3 a.m. with her 18-year-old.
And yet she's such a flirt. It's unreal.
College friends.
But her behaviour was like an immature little brat as well anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like she used it as an excuse, being like an adopted and whatever. My mom didn't want whatever. Yeah, fine. But the way she was treating him, he was so lovely.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that when they all got together and that Sam dude came and she was there flirting, like she was. First of all, she was like, he looks like my ex.
Yeah.
Right, but she's okay to do that.
Okay, one thing I hate in any relationship, I don't think guys and girls, married, couples basically, I think it's got to be that mutual. You know what? How you see it. If basically a guy's got an issue with his girl, looking at other men. I'm insecure. I can't have you looking at other men or chatting to other men. Yeah. There are men out there who like that. Then he should also respect and say, I'm not looking at other women.
Yeah.
and I'm not going to chat to other women because if I can't have you and I feel it makes me feel insecure for whatever reason, I'm not saying it's right or whatever, I'm also not going to be hypocritical and do the exact same thing and make you feel that way. It's all right for me to do it.
Yeah.
But it's not all right for you because I know what men are like. That doesn't, and there's people out there. She basically, at one point, asked him a question in the sense of, do you think she's attractive? And he went, yeah, she's attractive. Another girl, like she's just coming in. And she goes, is she? And he was like, yeah, she's attractive. So again, he's honest. She asked him the question. He's honest. She's attractive. You're going to say she's attractive. You're not going to go, well, I haven't got my contact lens in today. I don't know, maybe she is. Her dress is nice. Any guy who turns around and tries to do all that, it's like, come on, either a person's attractive, you're not saying you're going to sleep with them. And I think if you, like now we have those kind of conversation where you'll say, oh my God, he's fit. Yeah, okay. I'll say, oh my God, she's beautiful. Because they are. I'm like, no, be open and honest.
Yeah.
And so he said that she's attractive. I'm not happy that you said that.
She's like a child.
You know what? How can you just say that? You know what? It's really upset me, insert me. And
but she just kind of switched straight away, didn't she? Like, is she like defensive and
he's looking like, what did you want me to say? So if he had turned around and said, no, she's not, or I don't find her attractive, or I don't know, and all that, then she'd probably turn around and say, oh, so you can't even be honest with me? You're lying. I can see right through you. So he was going to be losing no matter what. But the worst thing is, after she said that, made him feel like crap, and she left him kind of thing, she went off to another guy, and she was flirting with him. She touched him the amount of time, and the camera was trying to show it, weren't they? Yeah. More than anything.
Disgusting.
She was just like, oh my God, he looks like my... Actually, to him first, he looks like my ex. She said about 3 or 4 times, he looks like my ex. And he was like going... So how's that? So
you're not over your ex then?
Yeah, and then she was there chatting to the guy, she was touching his elbow, she was touching his, and he had this ring. He goes, I bought this ring for this guy. Oh, I would never give it away. I would have had that. That is beautiful. You should keep it, and we should meet up.
Yeah. There was a lot more than just that. Yeah, with her. But the thing is, I don't think she got, in the pods, there was no connection between them two at all. So, but why did she need to feel the need to approach him? There was no reason for her to do that. Like, she felt the need. No.
And the thing is, she basically was doing all that. Maybe it was to make him jealous or whatever. But if you've just said this, and you can see him, he's standing in the back, and with another guy, and he's like going, this is like, you can see it's awkward, this is.
I'm telling you, girls will flock to him. He's so, personality-wise, he's such a lovely guy. Like, you can't fault him at all, and yet... Other than wanting to be with her, like... I
mean, but like I said, she wasn't like unattractive. She was a beautiful girl, but if you as viewers are watching,
she's too immature,
and these two people weren't going to be together, I'm just saying you probably get more girls want to go with his personality and his looks and him being honest.
Yeah,
I've made a mistake, but he looked like he was genuinely like I'm trying to. Amount of people that people have probably done in the past.
Yeah.
In their past relationships, argued, and you don't turn around and go in. I'm guessing there ain't gonna be many guys who turn around and said, yeah, well, you know what, I started hating her, or she became, or I become. No one says it's me the problem. They always say, well, she became possessive, or she became annoying.
Did he say it was like 7 years back that he did it? And if you think of his age as well, like he's only in his 30s himself. Was he in his...
I think it was early 20s.
So you think about it. He was quite young 16, anyway.
17,
he would have been immature. 15. No, he didn't need to tell her that. That's way,
Yeah. But again, her attitude with everything, it's just like going, when guys look at that, like going, wait a second, she's flirtatious with everyone, but then she got issue if I talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And then I can't be myself. All she wants to do is go out, dress up, and
like
party.
You said, she was easy. Like, she slept with him the first twice. She actually made it clear.
Yeah,
twice.
And she was willing to go, yeah, I slept with him twice.
But yeah, treating him like shit. He was making humorous jokes and stuff. Being honest, I wouldn't want to go shopping. Just her face expressions used to really annoy me.
Yeah, going shopping, and he was like talking about, what do you think of this? Can you stop it? Can you stop? She's like mother. She's like
honestly, she's got. But she's saying he's immature.
He was immature. Have a laugh, have a joke, but yet she's okay to have a laugh and a joke with others.
Yeah.
And then you're going. You keep on changing your tune and saying something. You're trying to portray you're something else on different occasions.
Yeah.
You're all right here, but you're not all right here. It's acceptable here, but it's not acceptable here.
Yeah.
You have to behave a certain way, but I can behave any which way I like.
Oh, she was irritating. She would definitely be someone I would not want to be friends with, like, at all. And that explains why she only had 2 little girly friends who were like
They looked about
15.
16, 17, I'll tell you.
Like,
they
honestly,
did not look. I kept on going, what?
I mean, she looked a lot older. She looked older than 29, to be
I
honest.
thought she looked older than 29, but I just kept on going, they look like college kids.
I mean, the way they were speaking, that seemed like, oh, so why do you love him?
And it felt like, you know, when you're going to advice from your, you know, like, it's like me going to, like, you know, college kids and going, can you tell me what's going on? How can I have a relationship with my wife?
When you've
what's
got
going on
everyone
this
else.
day? Like, these girls are giving advice, but it looked like they've probably not even dated.
So the rest of them, exactly, how they're sitting there acting all like they're so sophisticated in their,
I mean,
you know.
don't get me wrong, they might be in their late 20s and they look really, really young, but they look
there's no
really,
chance. They look
really
15.
young.
They look 15.
They
and
look like kids.
And even with the makeup on, you're thinking, shit, they still look so young. What it's going to look like without it. But you know how they came dressed like they're so like posh and sophisticated, like you got these badass jobs suited and booted, like the way they were trying to be like a bougie. It's like, oh, cheap bougie, honestly. It's unreal. When you speak,
women.
it just shows that you've got no
rich millionaire
class.
business women.
Oh my god, that was really bad. But then when she
in
sat,
their 30s who all look really young.
and then when they sat and they're watching that kind of show thing, every other girl that attended this who were on the show, they all had women there. They just seem like women, sitting with women, like, you know, like getting on and stuff, and she's got these little children.
Yeah,
that
when it was their hen
I'd be
do,
uncomfortable.
they all look like they got, like, you know, sisters,
I'd be looking
aunts,
over and
this,
thinking, is that her
she,
sisters?
She
or
looked like she brought these
brought
kids with them,
children,
like,
yeah.
you know, her younger cousins or something.
someone.
Come on, let's
like,
just
and they've
go.
got women around, like proper women, like, you know.
And that was an issue. He was like basically a guy who liked to stay in.
Yeah.
He's got a job. He had his own house. She lived with her parents.
Prenup.
Yeah.
Just that conversation when he left, he was like, and she,
Yeah.
and the little girls were like, well, that's an issue. Like when they
Yeah.
sat there having a drink.
Because he's already having dates. But if you see, she hasn't got her own place. She's
No.
living with her parents.
I said that as soon as she saw his house, that's it. She changed. She was a nice.
Up until then, she was being horrible to him.
Yeah, as she obviously.
And she
probably-
changed when she realised he'd got his own house.
And yet, but did you see when the parents came and they were like, well, she's your responsibility. Well, she's your, like, basically off her hands now, like, kind of thing. And she's like, oh yeah, no more washing. I don't have to do this and that. Like,
yeah, so basically she has to do her chores at her parents' house. And
like
she's
every child should do, especially at your age. You just do them anyway.
No,
you should be doing more. In fact, you should be paying towards everything.
living at home with her parents.
She's
And yeah, you know, she's like going, well, I don't have to, like, clean up and do.
I'd want to get
my
rid of her if
dishes
she
and
was
stuff.
my child. Like,
Yeah,
go.
but if you see from listening to the video, her whole life just seems going out and partying.
Yeah.
You know, like waiting for the weekend, going out with her friends, dressing up, spending money on how she looks, what she wears. He seems like, I just want to stay home.
Yeah.
I'm not fussed about
That's
all that kind of
lovely.
stuff. But again, you know what I mean? I'm saying, so you can be two attractive people, but your personalities clash. But then again, you can have great personalities and you might go, I don't like how the other person looks. I'm not saying that, you know, they could be still beautiful, but you probably have issues, which some of them seemed like they did.
Have issues.
There was like that one guy, he couldn't choose between the two. Was it like Tasha and that other girl? And he just like kept on, and it was more or less like, do I want to go with this? Because first, it's like he couldn't choose between the two's personality.
Yeah.
Then he decided, I like her personality better than her personality, or whatever we've got going, chemistry. Seemed like he was probably he was like 38, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're going to be 38. Well, you're 38. Which again, you know what? There's no age in being married and stuff. But clearly these people want to get married.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to be in a relationship or you got to be married to be happy or you got to be married by a certain age. Not saying that. But clearly these people want to get married. Although they wouldn't have been on the show about wanting to find a partner and getting married. But you're 8 years old, and the girls that were there, like 2 of them were in their 30s, so he's 8 years older. And he's choosing between, and you can see from his questions, more like, who is he more sexually compatible with?
Yes, he was in his 40s when he, I don't think
38,
was he 38?
Yeah. Sexually, he said that sexual chemistry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to feel the sexual. You can't see the person, but I'm trying to feel the sexual chemistry
And then when he saw
from
her as well, he was like, "Oh, boobs! Did you see?"
First thing, like, you know, when you was leaving,
boobs.
you got great boobs.
Why did he leave her?
Yeah. So you've just met this person for 2 weeks. It's like
It
going
was
to
a
clubs
sexual.
and just
it's what
going,
it was.
oh my God, you're hot, man. Your boobs are nice.
Yeah.
What? Imagine even going on a second date was with someone. You go on first date, you buy a drink and all that. Next day, or whilst you're leaving, because he met her first time kind of thing personally.
Yeah.
Oh, someone introduced you and you chatted to him on the phone, and then you met him in person and go, before I leave, just want to say you got nice boobs. Like, you would turn around and go, what? You know what I mean? Yeah. But he was trying to look for sexual chemistry. But as soon as he saw the second one, when they all met up kind of thing, it's like his eyes were just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I'm sexually attracted to her as well.
But it's so sad though, because the parents were involved,
and he's like looking, and it just seems like he can't.
He opened up to her, saying that I don't think we're going to be together. He said something like that and made her feel. And she was like, "Look, that I don't need to know this. I did love you whilst we're in the pods were a thing. I'm out here now." But then he was just like, "Shit, I've said too much," because he was saying that, trying to make her know that he's not going to go ahead with this. There could be something between me and you. But what killed me...
But then he lied.
Yeah, and then he lied. And the thing is that they know they're going to watch this later. Seriously. Yeah. But the thing is, the families were involved and the mum was so lovely. He sat there with the mother and, he even said that. She's like, my mum.
He said his mum didn't turn up when they meant to be together. His mum didn't want nothing to do with it. And he was like, I'm really upset that she didn't come. And she was like, it's okay. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to support you. Don't worry. You're not alone.
We're talking you through this
encouragement. So the girl's mum gave him all this encouragement, and the guy was just a ass.
Do you imagine how it felt for her though, the girl? How she must have felt humiliated and just like deceived. Like, do you know what I mean? Got her parents and her family involved, and her mom. She knew her sister was going to be like, hold on, I need to see. And she did. She had a 1-to-1 with him in the kitchen and stuff. Like, the sister wanted to make sure she was making the right choice. Spoke to him. And all the words that have been shared back and forth, and you felt like secure, this is the one, and he really reassured them all as well. And then to go and do that at the altar, you could see from his face. So I told you, I said he's really agitated. Why would you be at an altar if you know what you want, you're happy? You wouldn't. He was like moving around, his face was getting hot, like
we guessed every single person. Basically, they go through all these phases, they meet families, they decide if they still want to get married, and then they go to the altar to the point where they say their vows and stuff, which is crazy. Then only at the end, after they've done the vows and saying how they feel for each other, to basically say if they're gonna spend the rest of their life with them. That love is blind, and I do, you know what I mean? And we guessed which ones were going to stay together and which weren't. Straight up. Yeah. Which people were going to say who's, and that's how good we were, and that's why we were like going. And this wasn't like from the altar; it was just like seeing them from there talking to interacting. We just went, they're going to be together, and we went, they will. And when they went, I'm not saying that after the show they're gonna, the ones that break up or whatever, that things are going to happen. But genuinely, you could see who were trying to pretend to be something they weren't. Yeah. Who were just saying the stuff that they were supposed to say. Who, you could see were the players and, from men and women that, they're there. But who were playing a game just there for the show. You knew that flipping people can't stand Sam, especially. Oh. The most annoying one of them all.
Was he 5?
I tell you, that guy could not know how to speak to a woman.
Just love me. I just need you to wake up in the morning and give me a kiss.
That guy loves himself.
Dude, the things that were coming out of his mouth, how was
it? It was like being with a 10-year-old.
I just need someone to love me. Wake up in the morning.
He couldn't say, I think I love you. I think I love you. Will you marry me? I just want to say, I think I love you. What?
When they saw each other.
You just asked someone to marry you, you proposed, and you're still leaving. You couldn't say, I love you. He avoided kissing, and I've been a gentleman. Shut the F up, you dimwit.
He was cringe.
And he said the same thing to the one, same thing to the other. She turned him down, and he goes,
he had anger issues, yeah.
I've really got feelings for this one. No, you got feelings for this one, because the other one turned around and said, you told her you had feelings for her, and she said, no, I like someone else.
He had anger issues as well, like, honestly.
He really loved himself.
And I'm sorry, but he thought himself was something, and I don't think he was good looking at all, to be honest. He looked cheesy.
He was just an ass, a big donkey's ass.
He really was. He was very irritating.
I would have been shocked. And even when they were going to be, like, that girl was with her, I just went, what the heck? No way are they going to even be. And,
she was a bit,
it ain't happening.
For someone who's like got a good job and stuff, she was a bit stupid as well. Like, it felt like it was desperation, that she was like, because apparently he tried to want to sleep with him as well.
Yeah.
And he
said
didn't want
no.
to.
It's not that he wasn't physically attracted to her.
Of
You
course
could
he
just
wasn't.
tell.
You can see when you open the doors open.
And he just went to him and go, the height, you know, she was like smaller than him, and he's like, it'll work. I guess we can make it work. He was like doing that.
He
and
did anything to avoid touching her.
He did not say, oh my God, you are gorgeous, you're beautiful, and kiss her
No.
like everyone else. There was no chemistry, no nothing. It was more or less he was going, I'm going to look like an ass if I do, you know, if I say anything wrong or don't do nothing.
Do you know when they go back to their rooms where they're with the lads, or you know, she goes back, I'm sure she's seen the rest of them coming like over the moon and expressing what they've just done, like talking about it. Oh my God, we're all over each other, he kissed me, he couldn't get his hands off me. Her going back,
all he kept on going was, you could trust me.
She still tried to sleep with him.
You could trust me. You could trust me. And I'm like going, you can't trust him. You know, when someone has to keep reassuring you that he's a good guy and you could trust him.
The man can't speak.
And he kept on, what do you think then? What do you think? He didn't say nothing about how she is. What do you think? What do you think? Do you like what you see?
All I need is somebody to love me.
You know what I mean?
I deserve to be loved.
Someone
to kiss me at night and morning.
You need a mirror to love. That's all you need.
I was cringed up, so embarrassed. I wanted to melt into the seat that I'm sitting in watching him. I was like, oh my God, I would.
And then he showed his true colours when he was at the bar later on. She was with another guy, and that guy was saying, look, the way you treated her and the way that you behaved and acted, you was on the show basically for yourself. You've wrong reasons. You're not genuine. Want to marry someone. You don't really care. And he turned around and he just went, just let you know that when she picked me, she actually wanted to sleep with me.
Yeah. Did she tell you?
Did she tell you that? And I was being a gentleman. Well, you blew that out the window then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because a gentleman wouldn't be saying that. So you wasn't a gentleman.
Yeah.
No, you wasn't physically attracted to her, therefore you did not want to sleep with her.
Yeah.
You knew that. You didn't see anything
I mean, the
happening
ring
between
didn't even
you
go on.
two.
He was so like,
Yeah.
the ring didn't even go on the right hand. They didn't even notice
He
that.
didn't want to be with her, and that's what it was.
He couldn't open
and
up
he
the
made
box.
it out that, oh, I was being a gentleman, but a gentleman wouldn't have acted and behaved the way that you did.
Yeah, he couldn't even open the box.
You downgraded her, and you tried to make her out like she was a slapper and like, you know what, she was willing to,
Yeah.
and I didn't.
But even with her, I think
idiot.
there was something about her I just did not like, didn't fit. A smart girl, and yet it felt like she was desperate to be loved.
You did say
by
he
anyone.
reminded you of like a friend that we once had.
He
You know, like,
cringe. Yeah, like
he would have slept and gone with anyone, you know what I mean?
yes.
Back in the days, as in he didn't, because most of the girls could see he was exactly like this. He was just like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and every single thing that, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, and then with her, right? So okay, he said what he did, but the guy now she's with, what was his name? But how do you say his name? Benaya, I love that name. Like, even when he came to confront her, like, he said something. Obviously, they must have had conversations behind the camera about it, but obviously they've got to share that a little bit. Like, but I don't think she told him.
Yeah,
she had this kind of way where she kind of slid everything under the carpet, like, and
pretend
like,
it
we don't
hasn't
need to
happened.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Look, that's in the past. It's about the future. If we're going to keep on thinking about negative stuff, blah, blah, we don't need to.
No, it's
Let's
always
not focus on it.
because it's gonna come
She was
up on
really
the-
good with that.
I know, but the thing is, what you don't understand, and
She
it's
was
fine to be
really
on TV,
good.
but it'll always come up in the surface.
Yeah.
If you don't talk about things and you don't, clear the air, they'll resurface.
But she was good with doing that each time. So there's a couple of
She
times
just
did
tried
that.
to put it under the carpet.
But yeah, how long does that last? But you can see also as well that obviously his mum wasn't like happy to see her when she did. She was obviously gonna be upset because of how he was when she rejected him and wherever else not. But she was a bit like, you know, all God's up first, and she kind of melted out. But they didn't turn up at the wedding. Both of them, mum and daughter, didn't turn up. But yet they were okay with it. So,
but they said that his grandfather wasn't well.
They wrote a letter. He gets a letter to say the grandfather's not supposed. They can't come. I went, who writes a long A4 page letter to say granddad's in hospital? Can't
But he was genuinely happy though.
Yeah,
to be honest.
No, he was. He followed his heart.
But it's that thing of love.
We're like talking about the whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
love is blind, and you know what? You never know when it's going to happen. But all I feel like is that this was, again, everyone's gone on that show. Firstly, again, nothing wrong with people who are not married in their 30s, 40s, 50s. Some people don't want to be married, and that's okay. You know what I mean? You don't have to be married to be happy if you're happy in yourself and stuff like that. And some people have been in a relationship as a couple and not been married, but they're happy with that as well. But these people clearly want to be in a relationship. Yeah. They want to be married.
Like
but up until now,
out.
nearly every single person that they've been with, they're not happy with. And it just seems like they just keep on meeting the wrong people.
They don't look at themselves and think, you know.
Or they're not willing to work with everyone that they've been with. Either the person that they've been with or themselves weren't willing to work, because you saw that there were some relationships here that you would say there are differences, and the one with whose mum was really
Mouthy.
you can see the way she's had her relationships in the past, trust issues and problems, and she was like saying she don't like it when they're on the mobile phone, Instagrams and stuff like that, like her guy. She's willing to open that and express that, and you can see how her mum is as well. But at the same time, you can see that even though they got their differences and their different cultural values and beliefs and things like that, they was willing to work, adjust, show love and affection, and go, I see where you're coming from, I'm willing to change these things.
Or I'm communicated between each other. But I feel like the mum would have been a big problem there. Throughout it, they've gone ahead and they got married.
Even in the future is going to be a big problem.
That's the thing, because they seem like they could definitely, they definitely were made for each other. It was nice, but she will be a problem in the future.
I think the gist of everything, if you see, can these things work out? Of course they can. But will there be issue in every one of those relationships? Yes, there will be. There'll be issues in love marriages. There'll be issues in arranged marriages. There'll be issues in marriages where you just fell in love split second, and the ones that there'll be issues in the ones that you've known the person for so many years, or you even lived with them for 2 or 3 years, that there's always differences and there's problems, or there's other people involved, family members, friends, work, stresses. It's all about, are you willing to work on making things better and improving?
A lot of people these days,
and they don't.
They're not willing to put the work.
Soon as something's tough, like now, there was that girl who said, I want a guy who looks after me and pays for everything, and that's how I want to raise my kids. And he was more or less like, no, I want to make my daughter independent so she's able to look after herself, which again is fine. But you can see those values are going to clash. But then, it is.
Because we're the same. We want our kids to be independent, work for themselves.
Yeah, so we both had to think, if you turn around and said, well, no, I don't want my daughter to be independent. I want my daughter to be independent and be able to look after herself. But if she wants to be with a partner and she's happy for him to look after her, then that's her choice. I raised her that if he doesn't want to look after her, or she doesn't find a guy who doesn't want to look after her, she can look after herself.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's it. It's like teaching your child the things that they should do and can do for themselves if they were alone, and if they meet someone, then it's up to them how they want to have that relationship.
Do you know which relationship I like the most? See, I can't remember names because there's so many of them. Just about got, even though we've watched it, is the one that what's his name? The one that kind of didn't go ahead with the wedding. She was really upset, but she did it in such a lovely way. And they kind of hugged as well.
Oh, yeah.
She's saying there's not.
Ollie.
I thought that was the best thing for her to do. You see how mature she was, and the fact that she found herself throughout it, through the journey of going through this.
She also mentioned that she could probably not conceive.
Yeah.
And she openly told him, and he still was happy. He was like going, "That's okay. If that is the case, then that's fine."
Yeah.
Because again, I did at first thinking, this is going to be a bit of a conundrum, like for him kind of thing, like put in a position of going, he really likes her, and then you're like, I need to tell you that I might not be able to have children. The TV's on you, the camera's on you, people are watching. Now, if you turn out and you're going, but I want kids, and this ain't gonna, I can't be with you with that, he ain't gonna come across really good, is he?
No.
So he's like being put on the spot in a way. But at the same time, she had to be honest, which was right. And he said, it's all right if we have to adopt or do other things, then I'll do that. And I thought, fair enough.
Do you know what it was? Her parents set a good example. Like obviously, she said, my mum and dad are my biggest support rock, and I want something that they've got.
Yeah.
And she loves him, but she wasn't willing to go ahead with it, knowing that she's 100%. She knows that he's the one. And, when they were in their own space and everything was different to what he was like outside, he got to know her a bit more.
She said we're become really best friends.
And you could see working, when, with a couple like that, if there was problems, you could see them working through it. Whereas the other ones that you have, it'd be like how people just walk out, or it's guns blazing. You could see the way they two were communicating.
Together. Regardless of what anyone, they didn't have to show everyone else that we're touchy-feely and stuff like that. They were like, okay, in our own presence we are.
I mean, they did eventually, but I believe if there was any issues and stuff, they would be able to work it out in the future.
It wasn't over, was it?
No. And it would work for them too, definitely.
And like you said, she was very mature in the sense of
Really
going
lovely.
that.
She's not
You know
my
what?
favourite.
I really, I do love you, and everything is nice about you, but I don't think, what we.
She did it in such a lovely way as well.
And it was. It's like she valued him.
Yeah.
She respected him.
Yeah.
She was genuine. She was honest, but also at the same time, she knew that and she did say, "You made me find me."
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think in a way, if you look at the both of them, how they grew in that much time, she sort of made him find him.
Yes.
And I think they worked really good. And I think I even respected them more to say, let's wait.
Yeah.
You know what? It doesn't mean that they can't just because this show. It's just not now.
I thought that was just.
And if it only ends up becoming best friends and being each other, I'd rather just have that.
Yeah.
Than not having.
You kind of got to understand him as well, because when you
okay.
saw him first, you were like, oh, I'm not sure. He seems like a woman's, a player kind of thing. But you got to understand him. And this is what she drawed out of him, and like that part of him, he was vulnerable enough to speak to her about it, which he's probably never done with a woman before. He's probably has come across like, I'm not sure whether I should, or but that's the kind of person you do want to be with. Spend the rest of your life with someone you can be open and honest with, like share everything with, and they know you inside out, the truth, what you're feeling without you even having to say anything. That's what you call it. And she seems that type, and I feel like they would definitely work.
I think the only thing I didn't like, I think, was it wasn't fair on. I understand they want to be part of the experiment and do this and go through this and have these, see if it works out for them. Involving their families, as in, I don't think that did they have a choice, and if so, I didn't find it fair, because it's not like like you said, blind date, is it? It wasn't like, oh God, those quiz shows that we saw. You involving your family on a wedding, they're all turning up, and then to go, no, we're not doing it. Yeah, it's like it's not a game, it's not a joke. We're all here. You like brought us in and told us that I want to marry this person because of this, that, and the other, and you're going, I'll give you my blessings, to turn up and going, no, I'm not going to now. Yeah. What? And it's like you're happy you got this joy for your child or whatever, and then you're leaving like broken. You got to pick up these pieces. And for a TV show, and I found that a bit like see, that wouldn't happen with an arranged marriage. You just like, either you arrange and you're with them, or you're going, I don't want to get married. Yeah. The family, it's not like it's actual on the wedding day that they go, nah, it ain't happening.
Do you know, it's funny, we sat here and we were talking about it, like just telling people like as if they've never watched it, what it was like and how it was and what we thought and whatever. But if you had seen how you were and the way you were, like the commentary that was going on, it was more fun. I thought this was going to be like a fun one, the way you spoke about each of them. It was so hilarious to watch him. I had to shut him up in the end. I was like, just stop now, like honestly.
No, it just basically I was annoyed with it. It's a show that you're annoyed, but at the same time you're like looking and you're going, what the heck people are going through these days.
You needed that goggle. It's a goggle box. People needed to see what you had to say, because you haven't. Honestly,
just basically, people are willing to go on a game show to get married and find love. I don't know about the other shows. Probably millions of them now anyway. But it gets to a point like going, how is it being such?
Yeah, but people are willing to do anything these days just to be on a reality show or just some kind of show. They'll put that, people do. People come up with an idea.
I prefer the old genuine way, meeting someone. Yeah, and I'm guessing with now the social media world, it's even more difficult. Yeah. And not only that, with the social media world, you're comparing. Oh God, this guy's got 6-pack abs. This guy's got this business. That guy's got that house. That guy's dressing up like that.
Imagine if you were in this generation now having to go through that. You can't make your choice up about food at times, let alone freaking partnerships.
And I think it's become a world. I saw something talking about that the other day. If I just quickly have a look and mention it, it mentioned about what's it called? Disney, he said, Disney ruined sex for everyone. It was on Mark Manson's actually. It basically said that men were taught that a woman is something to be won. You're trying to win the vagina And you do this by impressing them or performing or slaying a dragon or something. Women, on the other hand, are taught that they have to be performed to, that a man doesn't actually truly love them or appreciate them unless he's jumping through a bunch of hoops and trying to prove himself all the time. And this is emotionally unhealthy for both genders for completely different reasons. Men is basically banging their head, they're not good enough as they are. They need to constantly be working to try to impress somebody, to be worthy of love and appreciation. And women, it teaches them passive and sit and waiting around for some Prince Charming to show up on a white horse and to be incredible for her. So she can end up feeling very, and when that doesn't happen, she ends up feeling very lone and, disappointed because he ain't coming and doing all this and wonderful things.
That's like the Bollywood films though, isn't it? Same
but that's what many people said. That's what's been like, it's not just Disney, it's more or less that. It's like, people seem like, and now even with these TV shows, you've got to, and social media, you've got to look a certain way, earn a certain amount of money, have a certain kind of house. It's your thinking mindset, what kind of your morning routines, your nighttime routines, the group of friends that you're with, what you do for, it's everything
Crazy.
Gets judged. And you don't realize that if you're going to keep on looking for perfection and everything has to be just like what everyone else has got, you're not going to be happy, you're not going to feel satisfied, you're not going to have a relationship that's meaningful.
It made us think about us and when we got together. Did we actually think of the future, what's to come on? And we just...
Nothing was thought of.
He hasn't got a good job or she doesn't do
we were
this.
Studying, so if we're studying, we weren't like going, what you're going to be, what you're going to do, where we're going to live, how many kids we're going to have.
You wanted to be around each other all the time. You cared for each other so much.
Just more or less like as it went on. I'm not saying that it isn't a good thing to have a conversation and talk and have some idea of where you're heading.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We didn't.
No.
We more or less, let's just say, made it up as we went along. It's like starting a business.
Yeah.
You want to start a business. It's weird, isn't it? Like, it's a relationship like a business. Starting a business of like, you buy something. Sometimes, certainly with our YouTube channel, we didn't know where it was going to go and what was going to happen.
Yeah.
We just basically started a channel, saw something and went, you know what, we want to do this. And had no idea we can have fun doing this. We can enjoy doing this together. Didn't think we'll get views. We didn't think anyone would watch. We didn't actually ever think we were going to make money from it. It was just to pass our time, to do something at home besides playing board games or watching the same EastEnders or something. Is there something that we could do together that we can enjoy? So we started doing that, and all of a sudden it grew. We didn't know how to edit, didn't know about the filming or the lighting or whatever it might be, and it just grew, and then it opened other avenues, other opportunities, met other people, and it ended up becoming a business. I left my job to do this. But now if I had thought it all through, where I want to go with it, what I expect it to be, how, all that stuff. Firstly, I probably wouldn't have even started. Yeah. Secondly, I would have been disappointed if I started doing it and nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Because my expectations would have been
and the
something else.
As well, yeah, exactly.
And then you just like thinking it's not working. We didn't expect it to. And the same thing with our relationship. We just knew, I want to make you happy. And I'm hoping that you're going to make me happy. And we're just going to see how things go. We'll decide where we're going to move when the time comes. We decide what kids, when we want kids, if we want kids.
Yeah, we didn't really worry about things like that, did we?
And, we'll see what we're going to do as a job-wise, work-wise.
People do, they put a lot of thought into it now. I don't know whether it is a good thing or is it not, because it puts a lot of fear
and
there.
we've been brought up differently. We've got different background, different culture, different values.
Yeah.
But then it was, again, we more or less, you brought yours, I brought mine. And it was just seeing which one works and which one didn't. If we had already thought those things, we probably wouldn't be together. It was like going, well, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And then we created our own, what's important to us.
I realised that wasn't either of us.
Even our own individual ones weren't great.
Yeah. You realise that, along the way, like, oh my God, that's not who I want.
But now if we had already thought, this is the way I've been raised, this is the way I've been taught to think as a man in my family, in my culture, my religion, whatever, you've got to adapt and change everything to what I want.
Yeah.
That's not fair on you. Now
I wouldn't have that.
And you come in and I'm saying this is the right way because I've been brought up. But then you could be the same. Like, this is the way I've been brought up. Don't like the way that you are. Change totally. It wasn't. It was like, okay, what's the best of, the things that we both see are valuable from what I've got, what we see as valuable from what you've got, then what we just see valuable together, like, what values we want in each other, in ourselves, and our future.
Yeah.
And it's the same with even living where we want to live. That's constantly changing. What we want to do, work, we wouldn't be doing this if we were rigid and stuck to thinking a certain way.
Yeah.
So when all these people are going in relationships and saying that they're not working, are they actually working hard on trying to make them work? Or are they just looking like, I want the end product already. I want this guy. I want this girl. I want them this. I want them this. I want it already be fantastic.
Yeah.
Why ain't it fantastic? No. It's just like a business, life, or physique. You want a physique, you can't just go, I want six-pack abs, I want certain kind of muscles, and then you turn up at the gym and you expect... Ta-da!
It's like people have been together for like a year, 2 years, and they start realising, oh my God, this is not what I want. They're lazy or they're this. No, you're getting to see the side of life that you have not seen, what there would be behind closed doors. That's just them being them. Now, we've been married for 25 years and we've had this week to ourselves, and it's like, still, even now, like, we make things work for, like, I want to do something, we'll do it together. Whether you like it or not, you'll still do it for me. You
watch the show.
Yeah.
That I didn't want to watch. But I ended up watching nearly every night.
Because you got hooked on it.
I didn't.
Don't lie, I'm
not watching it again.
I'm not telling you to. Why would you want to watch it again?
No, I'm just saying.
But
the next season, I'm
hooked.
not.
You were hooked. And then obviously you went with me uptown, and he's like, oh, why do people shop? Why women? Why do you shop for? Like, don't you get bored? I'm like, no, I don't.
No, and it was not argument.
No.
Because Sureet was looking at me, and we went around. It was a beautiful place. And we went around and walked around everywhere, and she's like, you look tired. And I'm like, I don't find this fascinating. And again, it was like in the show, he said that Freddie guy basically said, she got annoyed, and he's like, when we go shopping, he goes, I could sit there like other men do, and you could do your shopping. And she's like, what? Nice. And he's like going, it's not what men do. Like, they just sit there because they don't really like shopping. I mean, there's men out there who love to shop.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those. I'd rather sit in a park on the grass, and just chill and relax on a lovely day and not do anything.
Yeah, you'd gone around with me and stuff, and you could do that. If it was a place that you've been many times before, I'm fine with you, but I'd like you to explore with me. We see a little thing, stop off at little places. Yeah. But you don't get moody about it. No, you do your own thing.
I mean, I'd rather be like,
either go to the next shop or you do.
I've got a problem. Like, now, Sureet goes into a shop and I want to check this one out. Oh God, that dress. I've just got, okay, I'll just stand outside. Sometimes, I'll go in sometimes, but I'm just standing there and I'll just like... That's, for me, is either I start replying back to people.
You start working?
I'll start working. I just like going, okay, this matters to her. She's interested in this. I'm out and about. I don't mind seeing like new cities and going, oh my God, look. I went to a museum and I was lit.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, this is fascinating.
And you know what makes
history and stuff like this.
What makes me happy is actually seeing you happy. Like, I was watching you and I was like, this is adorable. Like, he's so into it. And I'm even speaking to you like, what do you find fascinating about, like, you actually like...
like the old swords and coins and vases, and I'm like going, and then things that these sculptures of people have made.
Every time we go into a museum, you are like, you just mesmerise, and I'm like, oh, that's really nice. It's actually, I don't see, I mean, it's nice, yeah. Okay,
I can stand there and I can start reading up and stuff, and she's just like going, come on, let's go. I'm like going,
I think what's nice is to see him happy as well. He's doing something that he enjoys, and it's nice. Even if I don't like, it's not that I don't like it, but I'm like, I wouldn't walk in every single floor and want to see everything. But it's nice to see you that you like something that you enjoy. So
it's that, and I don't mind seeing old buildings and and like places, anything.
Yeah, for me, it's like, how do these people just after a year or so, you're not even making it? This is what life is. You're 25 years of this. Like, you got to give it your all. Like, try at least. Oh, you know what? I've seen this difference out of him. He's lazy about it. He doesn't want to do anything like he wanted to do before. Once in a lifetime, you wanted to shop. In fact, the day we went out. I wore, obviously the weather here is crazy. We've got all these freaking winds coming in. I don't know if they've named it something. I don't know what it's called, but we've got all these winds, and we didn't even know what to wear. First of all, like, is it because it seems hot? Is it going to be raining later? What should we wear? So we wore our jumpers. Yeah. And I wore a long hooded cardigan coat kind of thing, and Steve brought me this. So this cardigan is 25 years old, and he brought it me without me being there. So he come home one day and he's like, I've got you something. I remember the bag as well, where you brought it from, the name and of the store you brought it from. And it's that old, and I will not get rid of it. To me, it is sentimental. I love it, and it doesn't go out of style anyway. First of all, and every time I do wear it, people are like, "Oh God, that's nice. Where'd you get that from?" Because you don't see it around anymore. And it's still in good nick, and I wore it that day with you. It was the ideal thing to wear with the way the winds were, and it wasn't too much, it wasn't too less. But my point is, before, when we got together, you were just like that. You'd come out with me, you'd sit there with you, you'd say, I'll try something, and you're like, yeah, that's nice, no. You know,
I know
obviously
that.
slowly
I would shop a lot.
You'd shop
for
a
you.
lot more, but
I mean, I was at that time when guys hardly even went into lingerie shops. I would go in the lingerie shop and always get you something.
Yeah, you did.
On
You surprised
birthday,
me.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And, you know, and
now
stuff
you just
like
don't go town yourself unless you're with me.
What colour would you like? And, you know, what is new? And I would like that. And it was weird because it was a time when, I was only early 20s. Yeah, like early 20s. And I would be the only... I looked like like 17, 18 year old. I'd never look, you know what I mean? And... you used to like walk in the shop. I used to be the only Indian boy in a shop, and you wouldn't even see white men in there. So you just see loads of women, and then there's I'm like going, God, they're probably thinking, what a flipping bird, man. You know, what's he doing? See the mentality, because I didn't see other men there, not even with women.
The thing is,
back then in Ann Summers and places like that. Now I used to be, my head used to be go straight to the desk. I just want to know if they got anything new. I'm looking for something. Like, so it's already like, you know, for the confidence of going, I'm not there just going, looking up bras and knickers. Like this. And then they used to like, you know, do that. And I used to find what I thought she would love.
And I thought that was fun. That was lovely. Like, you just, even now you don't, that's years ago. Yeah. Years and years ago. But even now you don't see an Asian man in Ann Summers or whatever, you know, Bow Avenue. You just don't see it. And you were that type to do that. Just now, he's just like, I don't want to go shopping. He just doesn't want to go shopping.
No, I just don't enjoy shopping. And the thing is, but again, it's just because I don't enjoy shopping. I know you. Yeah. So when you go into a new town or city,
nice to do it together.
I don't mind going there. And like I said, the only difference that happens, it's like, yeah, try it on. Yeah, have a look. But whilst you're doing that, I'll work. I'll just go on my phone and I'll start replying back to emails, or I'll start messaging someone, or you know, like any of that kind of stuff. So I'll just do, like, that's fine. And or like the other day, I'll just go on my fantasy football and start my team. But she's doing her own thing, so I'm there. And if she needs to ask me something, that's fine. But I'm not unhappy, and I'm not.
People forget, like, when you're getting together, you're new and fresh. You want to impress, and you want to, you know, make it work and things. And if it does eventually, just like anything you have, like in life, it fizzles out, and you've got to make that work.
It's not just fizzles out. I think, you know, when you're actually dating, remember both of you are living in two different places, so you're not in each other's space 24/7. You basically turn up your good stuff. It's like going on a job interview. You're not going to turn up and just go, I'm good at the job. No, and even if you was going to see the person's parents, you're not going to come, so what? I want to be with your gal, man, you know, me and her, we're going to be riding, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, however teenagers talk these days. You're not going to be with attitude and saying, you know, your girl's going to be mine or whatever. I'm saying you show respect, don't you? Yeah. And that's how it is. You be genuinely, you put, regardless of what you might be with your girl, like, you know, or girl might be with a guy, you're going to turn up and at least try to be a certain way. And it's the same thing with being together. It's like, I'm not going to come out and going, I ain't paying for you, you pay for yourself, and being all horrible and nasty, because if that was, even the people who are, I'm not saying I am, but I'm saying even the people who are, if already that, the girl's woman, going to say, forget this. If it's already acting like this, imagine what it's going to be later. I don't need this. Everyone comes up being a certain way. Then when you start living with each other, or you're spending more and more time, you start to see what the person now starts becoming more of comfortable.
You're being comfortable with each other. That's what it is.
That's
themselves,
what I was going to say. And then you start seeing, and it's not because the person's changed. It's like they were always this. It's just that they were bringing their best self.
That's what makes me laugh.
And are you okay not seeing their best self?
Yeah, that's it. Just like yesterday. So like, it makes me think of yesterday when I walked into the room and I've got my nightgown on, I've got my hair in it, but I'm like, yes, do you want me?
Lying there watching the football, and like I said, we didn't do anything. And this is not something that we, you know, we're always working or doing something, or we're going out. You know, we're going, let's make the most of it, let's go out, let's go to this city, let's do this, let's go for coffee, let's go for a meal. And this is the first time I went, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing no work. I'm not going out. I just want to lie here. And the plan wasn't to watch football, but it was like, I don't really want to watch anything. But we put it on. It was
just in our nightgowns all day long.
And I was on my phone still doing replies, but Sureet was editing and all that. But we were just lying there, and then she was like,
I walked out for a while.
She got down. So, do you want me? And I was like, oh, no,
not really. So why? I'm not. I don't look good enough for you.
Don't find it? Yeah,
It's
I'm not
attractive.
good enough, and I'm not attractive. And I was like, going, just.
Because you're making me laugh more than anything else. And that's what it is. Like you know, obviously the days like when you are comfortable with each other. Yes, obviously we still make an effort with each other, but you can be yourselves, and you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You guys, every single person's relationship is like everything else. If you want something, like I said, great physique, you want your business booming. That's the same thing in a relationship. You've got to make it work, and you can't just go, it's going to be fantastic. You got to keep on improving it no matter what, and you know, and that's how it is.
And remember, it's at first it's just yourselves, but if you're thinking of having a family, and then all those other kind of things, for us it's like, you know, even like having time together, we still are always thinking about the kids, or there's something going on, and you know, still trying to have that time for each other. So it's not always the same. Like
it's even when you are like, you know, you talk to one daughter or the other daughter, then you got your son to think about, then you got work to think. So you always got those things, but it's like trying to, when you can, being sort of present, and then also, like I said, trying to also be okay with, okay, there's things you like, there's things that I like, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing. So you compromise and stuff like that, and you work towards it. But yeah, I think Sureet expected me to like obviously say whatever I was saying whilst we were watching that, but honestly, that was just spare on the moment. I can't.
I just wish I had the camera up, because you guys would have loved it. He was fuming.
Yeah, it's not something that I usually kind of watch, so I think it was like different for me.
And you know,
like, I think the future, I think you start also looking, because our children are 20, well, 3 of them are, and you look at it and you're just going, I hope that they can find genuine people that they can work and grow, you know, together, kind of thing. Not having to go on a show.
Yeah.
In their 30s and 40s try to create a relationship with someone that they've never come across, you know, that kind of thing, and then people will go in, it ain't gonna work, or it is gonna work.
It is a worry. It is, as parents in
this whole world,
having children in this generation, and it is a worry, isn't it? It's not like it would have been before. You wouldn't, you know, the amount of people that you can interact with now in the space of, you know, in just in your own environment, your own home. It can be confusing.
Yeah, you can also interact, but also the problem is, again, we're going to mention that it's also social media puts this whole thing of comparing what everyone else has got or what's possible, and you got to realise that that's not always something, just because it's something that you might think you want because other people have it, it's not always what you need.
Yeah.
So it's just knowing yourself and blocking out all the noise from the people around you, from everything else, and going, who am I? I think I just don't like it when people are willing to change their whole true self to fit in with someone to be happy.
Yeah.
That they genuinely need to be them too. And you bring both people and go, let's head together in this direction we want to go in, being our true individual selves. And then you just work on growing.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because whenever you get into any sort of relationship, I know, even if it's a friendship, if you one who's always giving, or you one who's always changing, and the other person is, they are who they are, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Sooner or later, you're going to realise that you're not who you truly are.
Yeah.
It's something you're trying to be. You know, but it's that. You got to accept each other for who you are and help each other grow, learn and improve. And
it shouldn't always, to get that, it shouldn't be a one-way thing.
And you just keep on understanding and working on it, and you've got to do it the rest of your life.
Are you going to do the end of this now, outro? Because
so Love is Blind. Yeah. So each person, everyone, yeah. Love is out there for everyone. You just got to go out there and find it, and find the best way for you. If you think it is going on shows, then go for it. If you think it's arranged marriage, because at the end of the day, if you see the ratings of arranged marriages, they last as well.
Yeah.
You know, they do, because again, they work at it. And if it's love marriage, then again, you just have to work on it. That's it. It's when people aren't willing to work, or when someone sleeps with someone else.
When what?
Someone sleeps with someone else. But then again, even though I think some people make it work.
There have been people who make it work.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that was the video. That was our, I was going to say it was our reaction, but it's not our reaction. It's our true, conversation about a TV show, which is something I haven't done for a British TV show. I always do it for Indian movie reviews and programs, but it's the first time I've done something for an English TV show.
Isn't it? Would you call it a review? It was just
It's a sort of a review.
gossip, like talking about something, what we thought.
Thoughts, opinions, whatever it might be. Anyway, check it out anyway. See what you lot think. Do let us know if you feel the same way about relationships or about the show. Did you like it? Did you not? Have you seen it? Is there any other TV shows that you guys think that we can watch that'll open up some sort of conversation or something like that could be interesting? Do also let us know. That could be Indian, could be from India, or could be from England or US, wherever it might be. Something that could be interesting. And not only that, but you guys think of relationships these days.
That's an interesting
are
one.
you guys-
For us as a couple in their 40s.
Are you guys in a relationship? What's your relationship like?
What it's like for youngsters these days?
What age group are you guys? What are you in a relationship? Are you married, a couple, whatever it might be, single? Is it easy to date these days? And if you are in a relationship or you are in a marriage, are you guys free? Do you guys grow and learn together? And how have you done it?
Yeah.
What have you learned is the best thing in your relationship? And if it isn't, then what are the issues and problems that you have in your relationship? And have you been able to talk about it to resolve it?
That'd be interesting. And also, like I just said, like the worst and good, as in the sense of like out finding someone, like how they go about it these days, the worst experiences of like an app that they've been on to find someone, or I don't know, a friend or something, or even like a Resta. Like it has still, like people still do Resta and stuff, arranged marriages. Like it'd be interesting to know if they turned out great.
And do you guys think that you are in a good relationship or a good marriage? Do share that as well.
Yeah.
And what is it that you like about them? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No.
That is our podcast for this week. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let us know what else to chat about, and we'll see you next one.
See you. Bye.
Bye.